Freddie.
Heide, Goody, Iain Grant. Tell us about your new book.
Oh, our new book. It's called Hankypanky. It's book 9 in the Clovenhoof series. So what can we say about Hankypanky? I think the title makes a few people raise their eyebrows, but it's not as smutty and vulgar as you probably think it is. Okay, it's a bit smutty.
It's a bit smutty and vulgar.
It's quite smutty and vulgar, but not in the not in like Madonna's song about Hankypanky, which is about spanking. It's not like that. It's smutty and vulgar in a different way. So, Clovenhoof, the who is Satan, made redundant from hell and living in Sutton Coldfield, he wants to relive the very brief rock career that he had in book 1, because he didn't get enough of it. He enjoyed the adulation and the performance side of it, so he finds a band who are performing in a local pub and he decides to join them as a roadie. And he takes Ben with him, his neighbour.
And then they meet up with a bunch of Morris dancers, which is where the hanky part of the Hankypanky comes in. And the Morris dancers and the rock band join them on the road and they go on some crazy adventures.
So, what is Morris dancing?
I suppose I should start off by saying neither Heidi or I. Have you ever done Morris dancing?
I have not.
No. Morris dancing, for anyone who's not British watching this video, Morris dancing is a form of British folk dancing. It has some really long roots that go back, centuries and centuries, but actually what we think of Morris dancing was probably a thing invented by the Victorians, a lot of it. And there's different types, but the most common type involves people off from the countryside who are wearing their white shirts and their white trousers with bells around their ankles, leaping about, waving hankies and hitting sticks against each other and dancing along to folk music, very much associated with kind of Maytime and spring and those kinds of things. Is that a reasonable explanation of Morris dancing?
I would say so, yeah. Maybank holiday, they'll be at the local pub here. Lots of people come to watch them. And yeah, the stick hitting part winds the dog up nowhere.
And there's different kinds of Morris dancing because it's not all like that. Obviously there's kind of like mummers and people who wear the different clothes and it's kind of like the scarecrow kind of the black outfits and things. But I think traditional Morris dancing, or they're kind of the hanky waving Morris dancing, whilst I think it's a fine tradition, it's one of those things I think British people would consider themselves with a degree of embarrassment that it even exists.
Oh, it's like a kind of pantomime of Britishness that we struggle to assimilate, I think.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And yeah, it's one of those arts that is dying out in the country. So anyway, it's one of these very British and it's a rich source of humour because it's not normal, is it?
It's not every day.
It's not normal.
It's a thing that we break out for, special occasions, and then we look at each other and go, did that really just happen?
Can you tell me what inspired this book?
What inspired this book? We wanted to get back to some of the original fun we had with Clovenhoof, and the rock star thing was popular, I think, in book 1, both with readers and with us because we loved it, and it seemed like a really good thing to tap into again. And the other part that's we haven't mentioned yet is, of course, one of the long-standing characters is a little dog called Twinkle, and in this book he gets the ability to speak, and there's nothing finer than a talking dog.
I enjoyed having read it, as you know full well yourself. There's nothing better than a talking dog. I had a lot of fun with that, definitely. And I think one of the inspirations for this particular piece, because the last Clovenhoof book we wrote, Alpacalypse, was about the end of the world and all things being destroyed. And the Clovenhoof book before that, Hooflandia, Holy Moly and Hooflandia were both very big things, big books, big worldwide terrible things happening. And we just wanted to take Clovenhoof out into the British countryside and have lots of fun.
Bit of a romp.
Romp is exactly that. It's exactly a romp is what I describe it as. So that sense, this is a book about just Clovenhoof having fun, drinking beer, taking drugs, getting naked far more often than he should do, and having all the fun, really.
That all sounds fun. What's your favourite element of the book?
Oh, I did enjoy Twinkle starting to talk, because his voice, it turns out he's a miniature Yorkshire Terrier, we should remind ourselves. Although at some point in a previous book he was replaced with he's a miniature Yorkshire Terrier. And he has a voice that's something like Bob Hoskins crossed with Hugh Grant in that film where he's been a menacing underworld gangster type.
Mickey Blue Eyes.
Mickey Blue Eyes.
Mickey Blue.
Yeah.
Family favourite now. How's that one? No, that's definitely a lot of fun. I mean, I think I enjoyed, because in the book, Clovenhoof, one of the first things they do when the Morris group and the rock band team up, they go and perform outside a pub in the Yorkshire countryside, and it all gets wild and boozy out of control, and by the middle of the next day, everybody is either lost in the forest, naked in the forest, or being chased by an angry mob with pitchforks. And I think this idea of just being let loose in the countryside, I enjoyed that stuff very much. I think the other thing, because also in the book we have Rutspud, Demon from Hell, and LTL, an angel, and I think bringing those on, basically trying to track down the miscreants on the run, was a lot of fun also.
Buddy Road comedy. I mean, Buddy Road comedy is a whole thing, and it was really fun to write some of that stuff, wasn't it?
Absolutely, but buddy comedy, 100%.
Sounds to me that the talking dog's the hero of the book, then.
Well, he has a big part, it's true, but no, it's not a book all about a talking dog. There are other elements in there. I can see why you're interested in that bit.
I mean, he has needs and wants, mostly some sausages and some pork chops. That's what he's after a lot of the time.
Yes. Don't get the impression that this is a talking dog book entirely.
It is a bit.
Can you tell our viewers where they could buy a copy of the book?
Where can you buy it? Obviously, Amazon is the principal place that you probably want to search for Hankypanky, but don't accidentally buy Madonna's record, because this is a book.
No. Available in paperback and on Kindle, and we can assure you that yes, the audiobook will be out later on this year as well. So whatever format you like, it's available for you.
Heidi, Iain, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Freddie.
Thank you. Isn't doing accents slightly racist?
Okay, sorry. Sorry, I'll do better.
Thank you, Freddie.
Thanks. Settle down. No! Don't make me go and pull you out.
Over there, you're meant to be doing an interview. Come on. Sit.
I will banish you to the place where we're not. Right.
Life is hard, isn't it,
Come on.
being a dog?
I don't want him crashing past there. Come on then, you come round this way. Come with me. No.
Our interview has gone rogue.